tall. And just take a moment to ground yourself. So, whatever has come so far today, see if you can just drop your awareness and your attention down into this moment and into your body. See what it feels like to pay attention to your breath. Maybe this is the first moment in your day where you've had a chance to pay attention to your breathing. So bring your focus to the sound of your breath, to the wave of your breath, that kind of pacing and rhythm. Drop some energy down through your shoulders. Let anything that's creeping up tension wise let go. Maybe just bobble your head around just a little bit to sense, are you tense at all in the way that you're holding your head? And then melt through your jaw, melt through your eyes. And as you breathe in, just imagine what it is that you're taking in. So, obviously, all the fresh oxygen, the nutrients that we need most, the nutrient that we need most. But there's also this energetic exchange. So much happens during the breath. It's not just about a gaseous exchange in your lungs, it's really a deep connection to the universal forces all around us. So feel your place in the web. Let yourself be grounded and comforted by your place in the web. One more time, scan the body and just notice if there's any places that are unnecessarily holding tension. As you are ready, place your palms together at your heart. Just bow into your practice, this sacred time of caring for yourself. Let's offer an intention. And release the hands and let's come onto our back. So as you find your way onto your mat, scan again once you get into a position, a different position, where you are lying down now. So let's just scan the body and notice any places that you may have had tension when you were seated, but start to release when you're lying down. Maybe you're noticing something here that you didn't notice when you were sitting. So just ask yourself, what kind of practice do you need today? Do you need vigor? Do you need ease? Do you need to just breathe and be present? Do you not have any particular needs and you can go with the flow? Just ask and know that anything that I teach, you do not have to do, or you can modify. You can make harder, you can make easier, you can adjust anything for your needs. All right, let's stretch the arms overhead and let's wake up. So reach into the right side, reach into the left side, and just enjoy. Open some things up on the sides. And then bring your knees into the chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. All right, and then go ahead and circle the knees one direction. All right, and circle the other direction. Just enjoy. All right, let's open the knees away from the midline and bring them back in. So just finding a little bit of mobility in your hip joints, kind of checking in what's available today, what are you feeling like today in your back and your hips. All right, and then come into a bit of a happy baby. You don't have to pull down hard with your feet. This is a big stretch for the back this early, and feel free to rock a little bit if it feels nice to do so. Okay, so dropping some weight, knees down, press your feet up into your hands, opening up the spine. All right, and then stretch your limbs out wide, starfish on the ground, reach into your fingers and toes and wiggle your fingers and toes, roll around your wrists and your ankles, and then draw the knees in, pick up your head, give a good squeeze. Twice more, open your body out. Exhale, draw your body in. One more time. Expand open. Exhale. And draw it in. And then relax for a moment. Just be still on the ground. Put your feet on the floor. Okay. Take your feet hip width apart and let's windshield wiper our knees left and right. And as you stretch the knees to the left, reach the right arm to start to open the sides of the body a little bit. Go into the other side. So you can move this quickly or slowly. You can even pause and have a nice, beautiful stretch on the side of you, whatever feels good. All right. And cross the right arm over the left arm. Put your feet flat on the ground. Hold the backs of your shoulders on the opposite sides. And just give yourself a very gentle hug. You don't have to do any squeezing here. Just rest the shoulders. And then arms up overhead, and we're going to change directions and rest the shoulders the other way. So left arm crossing over right. Hold the backs of the hands to the shoulders. Or the fingertips to the shoulders, I should say. Then relax. Okay, right knee comes into the chest. Stretch your left leg long on the floor. Move your ankles around. Give yourself an opportunity to wake up your feet and your ankles, your lower legs. Give a good squeeze to the knee and the long, spacious spine. Changing directions. Left knee comes in, right leg comes long. Feel the length of your spine here, breathing. All right, and then expand your body. One more time to a star. Exhale, drawing your knees in and come to roll over onto your side. Okay, sit on your feet for a moment. And if this is not comfortable, just sit cross-legged. Okay, simple beginning twist. Take your hand to the outside of your knee. Lift up through your spine, fingertips. Your back hand can be on a block if the ground is too far away. And then come back and go to the other side. Find the breath. All right, interlace your fingers. Press your palms straight up toward the sky. Open through your chest. Lean back just a little bit through your thoracic spine. So we're just opening up a little bit of a back bend in our chest. And then release the hands out to the sides. Press your hands away. Drop your shoulders down. Open up through your chest. And then release your hands down. Stretch back towards child's pose. Hips stay down. Walk the hands forward. Breathing, let the neck soften and relax. Feel free to rock a little bit from side to side if you want. And then walk your hands over to one side or the other, opening up the rib cage. Dropping some weight in the pelvis. Relax the base of the skull. All right, walk the hands over the other way. Release the base of the skull here. Full breaths in and out. Okay, and then come back to center. Come up onto all fours. All right, cat-cows. Then just start moving through your spine. Take your time, move your vertebrae however feels really good in your body. You can start to move this pose around. You can roll around in your hips or move in your shoulders, whatever feels good. And then curl your toes under if they're not already there and stretch back toward your heels with your buttocks, trying to open up the bottom of the feet. And it's okay if you can't go very far, just go to a place where your toes are not freaking out, okay? So we want to open up the bottom of your feet, spread those bones as best as you can. All right, and then come back up onto all fours. Feel free to tap your feet on the ground, release your toes. Then we're going to pick up the feet. So we're just on hands and knees, and we're going to rock our feet left and right. Just easing up the spine a little bit. All right, and then stretch your left leg straight back behind you. Stretch through the calf now, so the toes are curled under. Okay, and we're going to walk the left foot over to the right side of the mat. So cross over your leg, face the ground with your chest and your pelvis. Try not to turn. And then we're going to just look out over our left foot, which is on the right side of our mat. Stretch through the side of your body a little bit, that deep low back. Breathe into the space. And then relax. Stretch back to child's pose. And then up onto all fours and change sides. Stretch that foot back. Heel lengthens. Toes are curled under. Lengthen the crown. Cross that foot over to the left. Right foot over to the left. When you're ready, turn and look out over that right foot on the left side of your mat. Open up the side waist. See if you can feel a little stretch right on the top of the hip bone. Breathing well. And then come back to neutral. And let's go ahead and rest one more time in child's pose. All right, lift up to dog pose when you're ready. Curl the toes under, lengthen through your spine, and let's enjoy. So feel free to pedal your feet. Feel free to get into the lower legs a little bit, stretching your ankles, your Achilles. See what it feels like to get to know what's happening in your hands and your shoulders. So 4 points of contact along your palms. Hug your hands toward each other. And by 4 points of contact, I mean the 4 edges, the mound of your index finger, the mound of your pinky, your inner and outer wrist, or the mound of your hand at your wrist. Okay, so lengthen up through your spine. Push off your hands to reach through the body. Feel the sit bones lift. Feel the heels lift toward the sit bones, and then stretch the heels down toward the ground. Open up the feet. Relax the neck. Come into your breathing. All right, walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana, fold. Feel free to wag your tail a little bit, shake around, let your shoulders relax, your head bobble. Inhale for a halfway lift. The spine is getting spacious and long. And then exhale and melt again. One more time, halfway lift. Spine gets longer, legs get straighter. When you exhale, bend your knees and soften. Drop your seat down, lift your chest up, and come to rise. So lifting your arms to the sky, opening your chest. Lean back. Remember, if we've been down on the ground for a while, so if you get dizzy, you can always squeeze to midline for a moment. Let your blood pressure raise back up. All right, so lean back, open the chest. And let's cactus the arms and feel the back body work a bit. And then shake out the hands. Interlace the hands behind the back, open the chest, bend your knees, let the arms leave the spine wherever they go. Unlock the elbows a bit, unlock the knees. Let the neck soften and relax. Deep breath in and away. Relax the hands down. Halfway lift again, spine grows. Exhale and melt and fold. Step your left foot back, come to a lunge. Right foot is forward. Hands can be on blocks or floor. You get to decide where you are in space. Let's start to move. Straightening the front leg, breathing. Bending the front knee, making sure you're following the rhythms of your breath. Notice what feels good, what's enjoyable in your body right now. All right, and then find your way to a lunge again. As you're ready, rise up, crescent lunge. Maybe the arms come to the sky, maybe they don't. Okay, so you do you. Extend, open up, lean back if it feels good, only if you're not compressing into the lumbar spine. Stay stable using core. And then relax your hands down. Flip your palms open, heart expands upward. And release your hands down, hop up onto that right foot, half splits. Engage your glutes, lengthen through your spine. Come up onto your toes, up on your right toes, lift the left leg in the air, and then place that right heel down without losing the lift in the left that you've just created. Expand through your spine. And as you're ready, place that foot down, left foot down, right next to the right foot. All right, so hip width apart with your feet. Relax your neck. Halfway lift. Exhale and fold again. Keep track of your neck as it's soft and relaxed. Step your right foot back. Left foot is forward for a lunge. All right, let's begin to bend and straighten here. Make sure you're moving while breathing. Make sure you're breathing while moving. Once you're ready, next time your knee bends, you can ground yourself into a lunge and rise up. Okay, and remember, crescent lunge can look lots of different ways. You do not have to have your arms up over your head. Okay, they can be anywhere. Breathing well, lengthening through your spine. Notice what your lumbar spine is doing. Try not to compress and sink. Rise out of the pelvis. Use your legs, press your front foot into the ground. So that's your support system. It's not sinking, it's pushing up the floor to lift. Release your arms down next to you, open through your chest. Find your breath here. When you're ready, lean into that left foot, hop up into half splits. You can use blocks underneath your hands if you want. Stretch that leg straight in the air behind you. And then lift up onto your tippy toes, long spine, lift the leg in the air, then press your heel down without changing anything else. Long, long spine. Use your glutes, turn both sides on, big breaths. And then release your foot down next to the other foot. Fold in half, Uttanasana. Take your feet as wide as the mat, maybe even a little wider than the mat, and come to a squat. You can put your elbows on top of your knees or on the inside of your knees. See what feels good. Spread out the bones of your feet. Okay. The spine is long, round into the four corners. Draw your knees back into the pelvis. Long spine here. Reach right arm out in front of you, left arm behind you. Feel the back body support. Help yourself with your core. And then switch sides. Other arm up, out in front, the other arm back. Find your breath. And then release the hands down. Lift the hips high, wide-legged Uttanasana. Relax your head. Take a breath here. Then walk your feet back, dog pose. So stretch through your spine here, deepen your breath. You can have your feet hip width apart or wider, whatever feels nice. Deep inhale, long exhale. Come forward into a plank. Hold yourself steady. Remember, we're always looking for that sense of stability balanced with a sense of ease. So we're not just muscling through our poses. Inner thighs lift. Hands hug toward each other. Feel your side bodies, your core, everything turning on. And find the floor when you're ready. Knees down first if your body needs that. Roll the shoulders a few times so you feel into the mobility of your shoulder blades. Inhale, rise up to a cobra. And exhale. And melt back down. Twice more. Lifting up on the in-breath. Elbows are bent, shoulders are down. Exhale to release. How are your legs and your core and your glutes? Engage things. All right, come back up onto all fours when you're ready. Take your time. Move your spine about. And lifting right arm up in the air. Exhale and finding a twist. Here, drop the shoulder down. Open up the back side of the ribs. Feel the shoulder blades spread apart. Breathe into that space. All right, inhale. Lift that arm back up. Hand down onto the ground. Second side, lifting the left arm up. Exhale, slide that shoulder down. Twisting to the side, enjoy the breath. Feel where the breath is taking you. Keep the neck relaxed and soft. Right, inhale, reach that arm back up. Hand comes down onto the ground. Back to child's pose for a moment. Let your back relax. Soften your breath here. Okay, up onto all fours. Right leg is straight back behind you. Left arm is out in front of you. So integrate into the core, the center of the body. Find your breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, hug elbow and knee underneath. Inhale to bring it out. Exhale to bring it in. One more time. Lengthen things out. Place that hand and knee down onto the ground. Sway a little bit from left to right. Get your bearings. Now our right hand and left leg out. Now if you tend to fall and collapse, integrate through the core more. Shoulders are soft, away from the ears. The back of the leg and the glutes are working. Breathing well. As you exhale, elbow and knee come together. Inhale out. Exhale in. One more time. Reaching that arm out. Place the hand down onto the ground. Child's pose if you want. Dog pose when you're ready. All right, so decide. Maybe you want your legs a little wider. Maybe you want your hands a little wider. Just see what dog pose is doing for you today. Let your breath travel. And walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana, fold, and rise all the way up. Bring the arms to the sky, hands come down. Okay, so pause in Tadasana for a moment. Let's just enjoy being here. Deep inhale. Long, steady exhale. So find a comfortable Tadasana. We'll be here for a few breaths. Ground yourself. See if you can feel that sense of presence and yielding. Give your weight over to the earth. Either stick a block between your thighs, or if you don't feel like you need a block, you can come into regular chair pose. So whichever you want to do. Sometimes if you have knees that when they squat, they hurt, a block between your thighs can make a big difference for your chair pose. Otherwise, touch your toes, lengthen through your spine, breathing deeply. Shoulders away from the ears. We're gonna twist. Reach on your inhale, on your exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale to the left. One more time each side, arms up. To the right. Arms coming back up and to the left. As we come back, come up onto your toe, off your heels, a little high heels. Stay in your chair. And then stand up onto your tippy toes, lengthen upward, relax your neck. And then heels back down and pause for a moment and take your feet apart. Find the breath. If you're using a block, put it down. And we're gonna bear our weight into our right foot and lift the left knee up. So right in line with the hip, we're not lifting the knees super high. Find your breath and perhaps straighten your leg. And it's okay if your leg's down here. Just experiment with where that's at. Okay. If you need a balance support, you can take it. Return to a bent knee. Lift your arms up, twisting to the left. Open your chest, drop your shoulders. Take your right thigh back. Soften the knee you're standing on, reach through your crown. And then release. And put 2 feet on the ground. Pause in Tadasana, feel into the balance, kind of dissipate between 2 legs. Notice your breath, relax your shoulders. It's very easy for us to take a lot of tension in our neck and shoulders unnecessarily. So let's try to be mindful as we come to the second side that we're easy in our shoulders. Bear weight into your left legs. Try not to lean your hip out. Keep the hip hugging in and the knees soft. We're going to bring the knee up to the hip line. You can have your arms up. You can have them out. You can have them down. Wherever feels really good to you. If you need to hold on to something for balance, do it. Now try straightening your leg, and it's okay if it's low. It's better to have it low than to be doing weird things, hiking your hip around or leaning way back. So just be in the rest of your posture well. And then bend the knee again, twisting to the right. Drop the shoulders. Left thigh moves back, left knee is soft. As you root the left foot into the earth, rise up through the crown. Finding breath, soft shoulders. And then release that foot down to the ground, Tadasana. Pause for a moment. Your next inhale, rise up with your arms. Exhale and fold. Relax your head. Hands on the ground. Step your feet back. You always step back with the same leg. Try to be cognizant to share. Take turns. All right, and then when we're ready, let's come forward into a plank. Steady yourself. Feel that sense of core integration. And it's really a wrapping of your whole torso toward the center. Stretch through your heels, stretch through your crown. And then come down to the ground. Arms come up overhead. Find a comfortable way to be. Breathe, relax your neck. We're going to lift the right leg and the left arm. Keep the neck neutral so we're not pulling our head back. Lengthen through the spine, engage your core. Press your other leg down, your other arm down into the ground as the opposites lift up. And then relax and melt. Notice if you held your breath, try not to hold the breath. Switching sides, left leg, right arm lift. Left arm, right leg press. Keep the neck neutral, keep breathing. Find the breath. And then exhale. Put your hands underneath your head or turn your head one way or the other. So either make a pocket for your nose or turn your head to one side. Lift up your feet and rock. Feet left and right. All right, let's go ahead and come back up, maybe back to child's pose. Take a little pit stop if you want in on all fours. If you're skipping dog poses, this is a good one to skip. If you know, trying to stay off your shoulders some, we're gonna all meet standing up. So either dog pose and then transition through, or just come up to stand. All right, you need some blocks. You need your 2 blocks. Okay, we're gonna step our right foot forward and our left foot back. All right, short stance, so we're not going super long like a lunge. Parsvottanasana legs. Okay. All right, so reach the arms up to the sky, find the breath, and then place your hands on your hips and don't go very far forward, just kind of like you're peeking over a ledge. Ground through your feet, big toe mound of that front foot, reach your hip back, inner spiral the thighs, and stay grounded through the back foot as well. Long spine. Now what's holding your spine in place? Feel your core, feel your glutes. Climb back up, walk your back foot forward, switching sides. So we're getting used to the hamstrings and the glutes having to engage and flex at the same time as lengthen the fibers of the muscles. So round your feet, big toe, that front foot is reaching into the earth, reach the hip back so your hips are balanced. Start to lengthen forward, hands on hips. Reaching through your spine. So notice when your body weight leans forward, you have to support yourself somehow. So use your legs, engage your quads, engage your hamstrings and your glutes. Feel your core. Feel the long spine, even feel the muscles along your spine. And then rise back up. Back foot comes forward, Tadasana. Breathe here for a moment. Switching sides. So now right foot is coming forward, left foot is going back. We're going to come further into the posture. Hands start on the hips. We're going to lengthen forward until you get to a place where you feel comfortable. So this is going to be your stop place, okay? And then come back up. Now you have a couple of choices. You can interlace your hands behind your back if you want and lean forward with your hands behind your back. You can keep your hands on your hips. And then if you know your back needs a little extra support, you can grab your 2 blocks and place your hands on the blocks, which, you know, deepens the stretch, but takes away some of the flex. So you do you. Open the chest, find your way forward. The spine is not collapsing no matter what position you're taking. The hips stay square, the core is engaged, the rooting of the feet. Feel the work in the hamstrings and the glutes. Lengthen the spine, finding breath. All right, rise all the way back up. Back foot comes forward. Reach the arms up to the sky and switch sides. Our left foot is in front now. So you can have your feet hip width apart as far as like if they were next to each other. You can also take them a little wider off the way from the midline if need be. Hands on hips, long spine, ground your feet, lengthen forward to the place where you're like, yep, that's my stop gate. Because if I go any further, my back's gonna really round, okay? So we're not doing the deep full pose where we round our back here. We're just trying to find length. Hip pulls back, ground the big toe. That's your end point. So let's remember that feeling, come back up. If you want, interlace your hands behind your back the opposite way if you're doing that version. Maybe your hands are staying on your hips. Maybe your hands are coming down onto blocks. Open the chest, lengthen forward. Root the hip back as you ground through the big toe. Press your feet. Engage your hamstrings and your glutes like one solid unit. The spine gets longer, so we're not rounding the back. Hinging from the hips, not from the side waists. Keep the neck neutral. And then rise all the way back up. Walk the back feet forward. Touch your toes. Lift up through your arms, lifting them to the sky. Come up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, heels down, arms back. Chair with arms back. Inhale, rise up. Don't worry if your heels come down, but get up onto your toes if you can, practicing a little bit of balance. Heels down, chair, arms back. All right, place the hands onto the blocks, half lift. Separate your feet, long spine. Ground into the four corners of your feet here. Lift your quads, so kneecaps lifting, thigh bones move back, but the knees are soft. So shins a little forward, thighs a little back. So we're going to take the right foot forward, left foot back. Once again, you can move further away from the midline if you need to with your feet. We're going to do revolved triangle pose. So right hand starts on the hip, left arm lifting up to the sky. I have two blocks. Maybe you're using one block. So, we're going to put our hand on the block. So whatever height you need it to be on, it's going to be on the inside edge of your right foot. Reaching up, lengthening, lengthen forward. Pause here for a moment. Take your right arm back. Left arm forward, right arm back. Long spine. And then lengthen a little bit more forward. Bring the hand onto the block or blocks. Orient your legs before you start twisting. So if you need a little extra height, having two blocks can really help you keep the spine spacious, which is what we want for twisting. Inner thighs rolling back. Sit bones are wide and broad. The hips are square. Okay, if you want to, you can lift the right arm up in the air, shoulders away from the ears, collarbones broad. If you tend to hike your hip out, pull it back in toward the midline. Stay rooted through the right big toe as you reach the hip back. Try not to collapse into the inner thighs. Reach them back toward the wall behind you. Ground into your back foot. How's the breath? And then release and relax. Back foot comes forward. Fold. Bend your knees. Let your spine soften. Ease. Halfway lift. And then melt. Drop your seat and lift, drop, rise. So whenever we're doing twisting, we want to make sure that we have lots of space between our vertebrae. So we're not compressed and collapsed and then twisting somewhere. This is a recipe for unhappy spines. So hence why, I had you kind of find where is the spot that my spine starts to collapse in. So you can go a little deeper when your hand is on a block, but you want to make sure that the spaciousness of the pose comes before the depth of this posture. We want our spine to feel free before we twist instead of collapsed. Okay, so let's reach the right arm up in the air, left hand on your hip. Lengthen forward to a place where you can keep that long, strong spine. Reach your left hand behind you and feel your hands give the length to the spine. Full breaths, legs are working, grounded, core is working. And then come a little deeper and find your way. Maybe your hands are on two blocks, maybe one. Find the legs before you twist. So we're inner spiraling thighs, grounding through feet, reaching the front hip back so we're balanced and neutral. And remember, as we breathe, the breath comes from, as we twist, the twist comes from the breath. So we want the exhales to help us use our obliques to twist open. Bring that left hip back in toward the midline, long spine. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the collarbones broaden. Wobble your head a little bit. Make sure there's no tension. If there is, look down perhaps instead of up or forward. Notice where the inner spiral of the thighs lives. Can you roll the inner thighs back? How's your breath? And then let's relax and come out of that posture, hands down, back to dog pose. Deep breaths here. Take your feet wide, turn your toes in. Feel that inner spiral of thighs. Big, spacious pelvis. Big breaths to the pelvis. Come forward into a plank if you want. Put your knees down if you prefer. And then come back to child's pose for a moment. Come lying down on your belly, hands underneath your forehead. Curl your toes under. Take your legs a little wider apart and lift your legs up. So give a hug to your sacrum, kind of reset. How's the breath? And then relax your legs down. Come up onto all fours. Move the spine about if you want. Feel free to come back to child's pose. Take a moment to breathe. Now we're going to come up to stand. Once again, you can move through dog pose. If you're skipping some dog poses, we're just going to come up to stand. So we're going to do revolved Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, but revolved half moon. So our right foot is going to be forward. Our left foot is going to be back. We're going to find our breath. Bring your hands onto the blocks. Hop up onto your right foot for half splits. Now, I don't like to put come back down for a moment. This is tricky. If you have your hand on one block like this and then you bear weight and twist, it's pretty unstable. So once I get into half splits, I like to switch the blocks and have them one stacked nice and broad and stable onto the other so that nothing's going to happen. We're not going to go anywhere. Alternately, you can put your hand higher, like on a piece of furniture to do this. There's lots of choices. Okay, so let's come back. We're going to come into half splits, standing on your right foot. Your hands are going to be on, the left hand is going to be on a blocks. Okay, now reach your left leg behind you. Right hand on your hip, left hand on block, right foot on the ground, left leg in air. Lengthen through your spine, and we're going to start twisting to the right. If you want to lift your right arm up in the air, you can. You can keep it on your hip. Engage the leg in the air. Use your glutes so strongly to keep that leg from falling. Long spine and deep breaths. Relax and fold Uttanasana. You can separate the blocks, one for each side. Halfway lift. Exhale and melt. Come up onto our left foot now. Half splits on the left foot. All right, so we are finding our way. We're going to bring the blocks into their stable place and put your right hand on the stack of blocks. Lift your left hip high and back. So our left foot is on the ground. Our right hand is on the blocks. Our left foot on the ground, right hand on blocks. We're going to lift our right leg straight back in the air. Put your left hand on your hip and start to twist open. Breathing well. We're twisting to the left. Bring the arm up in the air if you want. That leg in the air behind you is engaged so strongly. The knee you're standing on, soften it. Long spine. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Spread open the collarbones. Breathing well. And then find your way back to Uttanasana. Okay, we're going to bend our knees and float down onto our back on the mat. All right, so while you're here, bend your knees for a moment, just rest. Get used to being in a different plane. Full breaths in and out. We're gonna lift up into a bridge pose. So the feet are grounded, four corners of the feet grounded. The feet are hip width apart. You might like them a little wider, just kind of experiment with what's right for your body. Now we're gonna inhale to lift the pelvis up. Come up onto the tops of the shoulders, feel your full bridge. The back of the neck is nice and soft. We're not compressing the neck into the ground. Back of the head can have a little weight. Feel the grounding of your feet, four corners of feet. Open the breath up. Hug onto the sacrum. Open the breath. Let's lower our body down to the ground. We're going to windshield wiper our knees left and right. Grab your strap if you have one. It's okay if you don't. You can just do this with your hands wrapped around your hamstring. But if you have a strap, it makes it a little easier on your shoulders. We're going to put the right foot up into the strap. Your left foot can be bent, or left knee can be bent with your foot on the floor, or your left leg can be straight. You decide. Shoulders are away from the ears. Melt the back of the head. All right, so we're starting to cool down, so feel your weight drop into the earth. Regulate your breathing. Okay, so we did a lot with the hamstrings and glutes that had to kind of both be flexing and stretching at the same time. So let's just enjoy a stretch here. Move your right hip away from the shoulders. We're going to open the right leg out to the right. You can be holding the back of the thigh or use a strap, letting the inner hamstring and the inner thigh muscles open up a bit. Full breaths here. Keep melting the back of the head. It's easy to try to hold our weight. Let the earth hold your weight. The left side of the left hip, the left leg, the left torso can be a little engaged to stabilize you, but not the head. See if you can keep the neck out of the equation. Okay, lift that leg straight up in the air, cross your leg. So take the strap in the left hand, cross your right leg over to the left. Right hip away from your shoulder, spacious spine. Deep inhales and exhales. Lift that leg up in the air. Put 2 feet in the strap and then switch. So now our left foot is going to be in the strap and our right leg can be on the ground. So we can have the knee bent with the foot on the floor, or we can have the right leg straight on the ground. Your choice. Shoulders are soft. This is where a strap comes in handy because you can really concentrate on relaxing the upper body. The head is heavy and fully weighted. The shoulders and throat and neck and jaw are all relaxed. Open the left leg out to the left. Feel yourself become more grounded. Right side body, right thigh, all reaching into the earth so that the left side can open with support. Neck and shoulders can melt. Feel how heavy your head feels. All right, lift that leg straight up in the air and cross the leg over. Take the strap into the right hand. Left leg is crossing over to right side. Left hip away from shoulder. Stretch through the inner foot. So the big toe and the inner heel of that left leg are active, stretching out. Melt the head, relax the torso, rest the body. Lift that leg back up. 2 feet in the strap for a moment. Enjoy the length of the spine. All right, go ahead and take the strap away. Put your feet down on the ground, bend knees, and then put your right foot on top of your left knee. And you can either hold behind your hamstring or the front of your shin, or if you're in close proximity to a wall, you can do this pose, or a piece of furniture, you can do this pose with your left foot resting on something so your upper body doesn't have to hold anything. So however you want to be in reverse pigeon pose. And of course, you can do pigeon pose instead if you have a full desire. Wide sit bones, so a little anterior tilt to the pelvis. So if you notice yourself rolling onto your low back, drop the bottom tip of your tailbone toward the earth. Sit bones widen so that you create that gap under your low back. Switch sides. Left foot on right knee now. Hold on behind your thigh or shin, or use a piece of furniture to put your right foot on. Whatever you're choosing to do, be mindful, and even if you're choosing pigeon pose, be mindful that your pelvis, that you're not hiking one hip up toward the shoulder more, or hiking one hip up toward the sky more. So we want to have balance across our pelvis. Widen the sit bones, widen your foot that's on that knee, so stretch through the big toe and the inner heel. Bottom tip of tailbone reaches to the earth, so you have a slight low back arch, just slight, so that there's really a neutral spine instead of a rounded spine. How's your breathing? How's your melting? Let's relax that. Feet on the ground. Take a breath. When you're ready, simple twist. Drawing your hips over to the right, knees go left. Open the chest and relax. Pick up the knees. Scoot our hips over to the other side. Drop the knees down. Big open breath. All right, come out of there. And we're going to find Shavasana. Now, as you come to rest, remember that this is the most important pose you're going to do in your whole practice. So let's not let the mind leave already. So stay fully present. Drop your body weight down into the earth. Enjoy how that feels, how the deep surrender, the conscious surrender of dropping your weight, all your weight, your head, your arms, your legs, even your spine, feeling all that weight sink. Mindful to rest the eyes, the jaw. Find your exhales and let them go. Let's begin to deepen our breathing one more time. And as you do, enjoy your breath. Enjoy these last moments where your body really can rest in Shavasana. And begin to find a little bit of movement that feels good to your body. So you can move just a bit, like your head or your fingers or your wrists or ankles, toes. And if you like big movements, you can reach your arms overhead for a big stretch. Eventually finding your way onto your side. And find your ways to sit. Just notice how you feel. If there's merit to your practice, offer your energy outward. Send your love, this deep well that you've just replenished, send it forth. Namaste. Hope you have a great day.